ready, and they're away. It wasn't great from Shaquille. He was slow, probably not as slow as he was at Royal Ascot though. For this Group 1 Pertemps Network July Cup, and Art Power is fast into stride, the grey. Leads by a length and a half to Little Big Bear. Vadream is third, Azure Blue on the near side in a noseband. Followed by Cardam, who's very keen indeed. Preceded by Kinross. Shaquille now making rapid headway, going up into second, chasing Art Power now, and at the back is Run to Freedom as they race through the first quarter mile, and Shaquille taking off to join Art Power. They're followed then by Kinross, now moving into third place. Vadream, Little Big Bear, Azure Blue on the near side, Run to Freedom and Cardam as they race on now towards the final 2 furlongs, and Shaquille quickly recovered the ground after a slow start, but he's being pushed along. Art Power, here's Azure Blue on the left, running on well from Vadream, then Run to Freedom, Kinross, and behind these Cardam, Little Big Bear is well beaten off. Shaquille leads the way up the hill inside the final furlong. It's Shaquille who leads. Run to Freedom running a big race from Kinross, and then Art Power, but Shaquille muscling home, and he's clear by 2 lengths. The Royal Ascot winner doubles up in the July Cup from Kinross, and Run to Freedom fighting it out for second. Then Art Power back in 4th place, and behind those Cardam, and the rest were well beaten off.
A very special moment in the career of Rossa Ryan. His first Group 1, the first of many, I'm sure, in the Pertemps Network July Cup, on board Shaquille. He was riding for the first time, and my goodness, the race was eventful as well, because he did his usual trick at the start.
Yeah, he did, and I didn't really want to set him alight. I wasn't really feared, because, yeah, I jumped slow, but I was not too far away. They hadn't gone quick for the first furlong, and it just locked on then after that. And it was like once I put my head in front of Art Power, I could feel him 3 out just blow out on me and fill his lungs, and then I was all set to go to. You know, to be fair, you know, James Doyle and Oisin filled me with confidence, and James said to me his best 2 furlongs will be his last 2. So he said, "Do not be feared to give him a kick in the belly," and he some horse to do that. You know, taking on the older horses in the terms he did it on, something else.
That move he made and to be able to sustain it, did you take the decision just, I'm not going to fight you here?
Well, I was in behind Rob and William, and I was on heels, and I was out of control really, and I just said, here, I can't go this slow anymore, and I just pulled him out, and he was just that quick. I could get out around and in, back in again, and yeah, big credit to the Camacho team, everyone. I can't believe it, really.
This is an exceptional horse, isn't it?
He's a proper horse. To do what he did in that fashion and pick up all the way to the line, something else.
And for you, how special is this moment?
It's a dream come true.
It's everything you've worked for, isn't it?
Everything you get up every day for. And I never thought it'd come. I thought Mojo Star got beat, Alba Flora got beat by short margins, and I was always knocking and knocking. And to get the call on this lad was something else, and I'm speechless in that sense.
The door is wide open now, many congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
The proud trainers of Shaquille, who's just won the Pertemps Network July Cup, Steve Mason and Julie Camacho here, both of them soaking up the moment, getting loads of interviews, lots of photographs being taken. What an exceptional performance that was again.
Yeah, he's a star, isn't he?
I'm not sure what to say really, pretty breathtaking. I thought he'd done it all wrong today, slowly aware. Then Oisin obviously was quiet with him at Ascot, but Rossa chose to get close to the pace earlier, and I thought we were doing too much from a fair way out, but to pick up from that, you have to say he's a special athlete, I think, Lydia.
I think everybody thought he was doing too much, but Rossa was just saying that he was just climbing over the back of other horses. You know, he just didn't have control, but actually once he got him out and to the front, he was much, much better.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of seems to be fluffing his lines a little bit at the start, and we talked briefly with Craig Witherford, who came down to see us, and we need to think about that now, because we hoped Ascot was an exception, but clearly he's getting something in his mind. It's possibly the rug. We're not sure. We're going to think about it and hope it doesn't prevent him being, successful going forward.
It's certainly not stopping it at the moment. Imagine what he would be like if he did everything right.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it, if he was just to go and do everything right and not give us all heart attacks part way through the race.
Well, there's other words as well as nice. I think he'd be exceptional, wouldn't he? I mean, he's come here as a 3-year-old. He's beaten the established sprinters. It's what the July Cup is meant to do. And he's been utterly dominant. You must be really proud.
Very proud of him, aren't we, both of us?
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously unusual waters for us, and so you have to take a little bit of time to absorb everything. But I think if I was sat at home with my cup of tea, I'd be thinking we've seen a really good racehorse today. So,
And when you say it's sort of unusual waters, when you've got a talent like that, and he's obviously exceptional, he'd be exceptional in any stable, what was your reaction when you started to work out just how good he was?
It's been a slow process. I mean, we were obviously, if you go back to last December, we were at Wolverhampton on a cold Saturday night, I believe. So we didn't see the talent at this level immediately. For all we knew we had a progressive horse. Obviously, All-Weather Championships Day was a disaster, and we were forced down a different route. We sort of exploited his handicap mark, which was obviously, very favourable to him. And then we try to do it step by step, really. And obviously, the listed race at Newbury, and James encouraged us to go straight to the Group 1. So at home, as Jules always said, he's a lovely character, very laid back, doesn't put a foot wrong, but doesn't immediately show his talent. We would have 3 or 4 horses comfortably work better than him at home, quicker than him, and would please you more in the morning. Would that be fair?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, he comes up, if Paige leads on him, it just looks like an old bumper horse. Comes up with his ears pricked, plodding along, yeah. And I mean, you took him out this morning, just plodded out into the paddock. He's been out in the paddock before he came racing, which is a bit unusual for a colt, really.
And it's very, very different to his demeanour once he's at the track as well, isn't it? Oh, actually down at the start, rather, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're getting there really nicely. I think obviously Ascot was probably slightly bigger atmosphere than today, and he handled that really well, which encourages. And he was good again today. I think the only thing we're seeing that's detrimental to his performance is obviously he's jumping from the stalls and he's conceding ground. I'm not sure really. That's one for Craig to discuss, and obviously the guys riding him. I'm not sure whether we take the rug off him, but it's been the rug has been a really important key to getting him settled in the stalls, because that's clearly what he didn't like, the feeling of the stalls on his sides. So it's one for a bit of thought, isn't it? We're still not getting it all right, but the end result looks good, doesn't it?
I'd say so. Where might you go next? Could you think of an Unthorpe? I mean, the speed he's shown there. I know it's a fast 5. I know he'd need to get the start right, obviously. But has it crossed your mind now that you've seen him do that?
I would think we'd probably stick to 6 for now. I think something 5, something he'd possibly do in the future. We'll speak to Martin. We like to sit down and have a chat. These are really nice chats to have, aren't they? But he's obviously in the Haydock sprint, and that was going to be the natural step for him. We need to just slightly remember that this horse was in training quite early in the winter to get him ready for the Championships final day. So at some point I wouldn't mind him having a couple of quiet weeks to let him keep strengthening and developing, because he's still a baby, we forget, for all he's a talented one. So we'll see. We'll have a chat over a cup of tea and we'll see what he wants to do.
Is this the horse that you hope will stay in training at 4?
It's a great question. It honestly hasn't been discussed. We left it to Martin, and Martin's sort of his directive is just to say let's enjoy the race and we'll have a chat further down the line. So, we're just enjoying the ride, I think, really. Yeah. So.
And what is it like? I mean, after Royal Ascot, give us an insight about the drive home, what that was like.
We stopped at the services and we did upgrade. We got an M&S sandwich, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we pushed the boat out. We did. We're just not social animals. We just work hard, and some days you have great days like this, and other days are disappointing, as we know. But I don't think it's going to change us too much. We'll be back. Tomorrow's a day off, actually, James.
Yes, it is,
yeah, we can have a day off tomorrow, but we'll be back in the yard at 4:30 Monday morning doing our thing. We need to make sure. It's been a great year for the yard, and in general the horse have run well, but we've trained a lot of nice horses for a lot of nice people, and it's about everyone. Not, we need to make sure it doesn't become a one horse. The priority becomes around him. We're very fortunate, we feel, and in some situations certainly we need to do a bit better, so that keeps you grounded.
And how has it been for the team? We've spoken about the two of you, but what has been the reaction back at home?
It's brilliant. It was when we went back into the yard on Saturday morning, it was a real great atmosphere, wasn't it? And everybody's thrilled, and because you are a team, aren't you? Especially being a small team like we are, You know, we muck in, we both muck out, we both sweep the yards, we do everything, don't we?
We do. But you've got at a time when it's often talked about the staff situation in the race, and we feel as though we've got really good people work for us, and we're sort of very proud of them, and in general we all get along really well, and it's a nice vibe, it's a good feel, and they'll be enjoying this back in Malton, and we look forward to enjoying it with them.
I'm sure my mum and dad will have been screaming in Spain, God help the neighbours.
Well, he is a great advertisement for your team. I can only imagine where's up from an M&S sandwich, but I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Subscribe to Racing TV's YouTube channel now to watch more great races like this.